Silence and smiles are two powerful tools. Smile is way to solve many problems. Silence is way to avoid many problems. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Guests.
Good morning.
I am Balaji Anandan, Sergeant Thomas. Toastmaster International is a non-profit education organization that operates clubs worldwide for the purpose of helping the members improve their communication, public speaking, and leadership skills. The club started in the year 1924. The founder was Roxy Smiley. The mission of Toastmaster International to empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. The code of conduct of the Toastmaster meeting is: please switch off your mobile phone or put it into silent. Number 2, do not walk around during the meeting. Please use a sheet of paper to communicate across the hall. Number 3, we encourage members to communicate glad and formal action. Number 4, speaker equipment topics like sex, religions, and politics. Now is the time for the presiding officer. Our presiding officer is IT advisor and president of Medley and first winner in the evaluation. So please put hands together.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So Judy Carter, who is a stand-up comedian and a public speaker. So I was just reading a piece in one of her books recently. She talks about connecting with the audience. So she is a stand-up comedian, and there are a lot of folks who are injured, US war veterans who were injured in Afghan war. They are back, and she had to go and give a speech to pep them up. And these are the folks who have lost their limbs. They become paraplegic or quadriplegic, backbone injuries, 22-year-olds who can never walk for their entire life. So this is the set of audience she's going to address. And she's a comedian, right? So she's going to make them laugh. Why would a 22-year-old person who is never going to walk in his life going to laugh, right? So he is depressed and so just before the meeting she realizes her standard tricks won't work. So she breaks her mind and she came up with the idea. One of her sisters was a quadriplegic. So she completely changed the act. Before she went to comedy, she took a serious piece about her sister who lived for about 55 years and she was no more. And she was put away in a home by her parents. And Judy says, when her sister died, she went to the funeral and then there were hundreds of people in the funeral coming and crying and saying so many nice things about her. And this lady who was a quadriplegic herself, as you know, quadriplegic is a person who cannot use any of the 4 limbs. She had inspired people, and people, whether they're able-bodied or not, they were at her funeral talking about stories over the last 10-20 years of how this lady inspired her. So she just completely changed her comedy act, what she normally does, spent several minutes talking about her sister, and then created a purpose link for even a quadriplegic can inspire. And she says it changed life. She gives the example of it again, the 22-year-old who was the reason for her to change the story. How he started, physiotherapy seriously, got some interest in life, and 3 or 4 years later she went to meet him and he could even take few steps out of his wheelchair. So it's a very interesting piece I read. So a comedian going, and then obviously she realized towards the start of the event that completely changed. It's extremely important. I find it very, very difficult to change any of our acts, right? I don't know how many of you agree. When you prepare, that's it. I can't even change a word from my speech. It was very interesting to read how, as public speakers or aspiring public speakers, we should be able to understand the audience and then be willing to change even at the last minute. So we'll get some guest introductions before we start today. I know definitely one guest right here.
I'm Karthik. I work for Cognizant. I've been attending 1 or 2 sessions of Toastmasters, so it's been very interesting so far.
Welcome, Karthik. Any other guests we have? I don't see this. Okay. So we'll start the meeting today, and thanks for taking your time and coming on a Sunday. So I will declare the meeting 374 open. As there is no special dignitary, I honor all of you. So So the meeting is open now. So to run the meeting, we have Toastmaster of the day. Now this Toastmaster of the day is someone you better befriend because he could be one of the future India gurus. He is very much into yoga, and you can make out very easily by seeing him. He's IT professional and he does yoga. I don't know which is his priority. Many times I feel yoga is his priority. So he goes for all these long yoga courses, and you can always see him calm. I have never seen him even frown his face in the short time I have known him. So it's time to introduce the PM body, and before that, someone do this.
That,
The ghost.
that's ghost.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Toastmasters, guests, and beloved ghosts over there. So it's been a wonderful meeting, isn't it? No, long back, years back, 15 years back when I was 8 years old. Exactly the age. Our family moved to a different house. So immediately when we moved to a different house, strange things started happening in the house. The same night, I started crying in my sleep. It continued for days. And then it became extreme. I started rolling, crying in my sleep, my bed, and I fell down, and I was still crying. My dad had to literally pick me up. I had to shake hard so that I would wake up. This is a very true answer. My dad asked the neighbors. Few said the house is haunted, while most of the people said that I was. Finally, they decided to do a short puja. And after that particular puja, where I was the center of attraction, everything went smooth. The question that haunts me down till now is, a ghost real? Do they exist? Are they living amongst us? The theme for today's meeting is ghosts. They are here. The theme for today's meeting is ghosts. Before I commence, I ask this question to you. Are there ghosts? Yes or no? All those in favor of yes? All those in favor of no? All the ghosts, please ignore these people. Don't put them near my friends. For the benefit of guests and ghosts, every Toastmasters meeting consists of 3 sections: a prepared speeches section, a table topic section, and an evaluation section. The prepared speeches section is the place where our prepared speakers, I would call them ghosts, will come up with the abilities to scare you or to inspire you or to persuade you or entertain you. That's the prepared speeches section for you. The next table topic section is the place where you will discover the ghost within. You will be given a topic to speak on stage, and you will discover the ghost. And third is the evaluation section, which we call the backbone of every Toastmasters meeting.
where every prepared speaker and his speech, where his speech will be evaluated by your fellow Toastmasters. Today, to run the evaluation section, I have a beautiful host. You know, across the globe, all the famous storms and ghosts are named after girls. No offense, but even in Medley, there are a lot of girls in the name of Janani, Gopika, Anusha, Achintya, Stita. So one of the ghosts is going to be the general evaluator for today. The thunderous applaud. I would like to welcome the general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Achintya.
That is not a good introduction. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests and other members. They say true love is like a ghost, which everyone talks about, but very few have seen it. I'm the general evaluator today, and I have two teams under me. One is the tag team, and second is the evaluators. Now, the purpose of evaluations, like I said, is being backed by two teams. So I would like to go ahead and introduce my tag team. For the timer, we have the role of Toastmaster Charan. So he's my ATN and he's playing the role for the first time. So could you go ahead and brief out the
Hello Toastmasters and welcome guests. As timer, I will be helping the speakers practice expressing a thought within a specific time. My duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topic speeches and speech evaluations during this meeting. The green card indicates qualifying time. The yellow card is target time and the red card is maximum time, and you have 30 seconds to finish it. For a 5 to 7 minute prepared speech, I will show the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes and the red card at 7 minutes. You should speak a minimum of 4 minutes and 30 seconds to qualify. For evaluators, the time is 2 to 3 minutes. The green card is shown at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes and 30 seconds and the red card at 3 minutes. And you have 30 seconds to finish. For table topics, each speaker is encouraged to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. I will show the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds and the red card at 2 minutes. If you speak under time or over time by more than 30 seconds, you will be disqualified and are not eligible for awards. If you speak less than 1 minute, you will be disqualified. I will report the qualifying times when called upon at the end of meeting. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, timer. The next role of the counter, we have Toastmaster Balaji. So could you please brief us the rules?
Thank you, General Evaluators, and very good morning to Toastmasters and welcome. My duty as a counter is to design verbal distractions such as and so, but, and other words platforms. I will also keep track of the repeated words like and lastly I will keep track of long pauses in the distractions. I will keep track of the speaking errors and writing for each speakers and give an report over the call when called upon the report.
Thank you, Balaji. Now for the grammarian role, we have Toastmaster Abhijit. He's playing the role for the first time. And when I asked him about the theme of the meeting, and I asked him if he really gets scared, of course, he says he likes to maintain his calmness, and he does not want to spread the fear when he's... Okay, I will just go ahead and ask him.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language as well as any outstanding uses, quotes, sayings or thoughts. And as grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is cadaverous. C-A-D-A-V-E-R-O-U-S. It means like a corpse. So it is a Latin origin word, and it could also be meaning for pale, ghostly, or looking like a corpse. Usage in a sentence would be, in a small circle of light, a long cadaverous face appeared. I would be counting, each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give a word of the day as well as theme of the day report at the end of the meeting. Over to you, General.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit. Now this team is what I call the Ghostbusters team. Well, Arvind is here spooking all of us. I'm trying to make sure that my team out here takes away all the spookiness and gives back and inspires the room with a lot of positiveness. So over to Toastmaster Abhijit.
Are you ready to be scared?